What's up, everyone? Welcome to Level 7. It is time for another episode of the Agents of Fandom podcast. I'm your host, TJ Zwarich, and we got a very fun show planned today. We are drafting the best projects of 2024. Joining me, as per usual, except he wasn't here last week, Damon Gray. How you doing, Damon?
I was not. I was not here last week. As I am the usual, I'm no longer the usual. I'm very confusing. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing really well. It's been a good morning so far today. I woke up early, did some parenting because the baby was up early as well, and so we tried some solid food. We had some yogurt and some apple. It was good. It's been a good start to the morning, but people don't care about that. They want to hear about our guests. They want to draft some fun movies and TV shows. Anytime we do a draft, we try and get one of our friends from the direct.com, co-host of the Direct podcast, David Thompson. How you doing today, David?
I'm doing great. It's Glicked weekend. Everyone go out and see Gladiator, go out and see Wicked. Both movies absolutely rip. And I'm so excited to see the box office numbers, which I care about greatly. And also just everyone's reactions to both movies. I'm excited to see if people actually go do double features. I don't know if that's anyone's plan on here, but that seems crazy to me. They're both super long movies and dramatically different, but I love the idea that we're getting another mini little Barbenheimer now.
I have my Gladiator tickets already. I am not going to do them both in the same day, but I might do Wicked later in the weekend as well. Rachel, our other guest today, Rachel Leishman, you know her. She's been on the pod lots. You're shaking your head. It tells me you're doing the double feature
I mouthed it. I was like, you should do both, coward.
I'm assuming you're going to see both this weekend?
I've already seen both. So I had to go see Gladiator forever ago, and then I've now seen Wicked twice. But potentially, I'm going home, and my mom wants to see both movies. So if I could convince my 70-something-year-old mother to see both Gladiator and Wicked in a back-to-back fashion, I might do it.
Heck yeah, I love it. We will include both of these movies in the criteria for today's draft. We have a lot of great projects dropping in December, especially on the TV side of things. We have Creature Commandos, Skeleton Crew, What If. We will leave those off the board since they're not out yet. I wanted to do the 2024 draft before December started just because we're going to be so busy covering those shows in December. And so we'll leave them off the board, but not to worry because we will have lots of great content for Skeleton Crew and Creature Commandos and What If all coming to the podcast. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the great shows that we have coming. And without further ado, let's get into the agenda. Let's start out with Whatcha Watchin. Damon, I'll throw it to you first. It often goes to what you're reading when it gets to you. And as I understand it, you just recorded a comic corner that featured a lot of different books.
A lot of different books. We just ran through 10 books in a matter of 40 minutes. So we were snippy this week. Very, very snippy. Man, what have we been reading? All the absolute titles from DC have been absolutely great. And all the ultimate books from Marvel, I can't say ultimately awesome, but they have been very, very good as well, especially Ultimate Spider-Man, which came out this week, which kind of featured Felicia Hardy a little bit. She was on the cover, and then she's in a panel, and that's it. So a little bit of a tease. Hopefully we get more of her going forward, but that's been great, man. I haven't been reading too much outside of the Comic Corner books. It's been a lot of just listening to music and checking out the new Linkin Park album, which is great, and checking out the new Poppy album, which is also great. It's kind of wild that those two dropped at the exact same time, and that's been fun. It's been a good time.
Our own version of Glicked for music.
It really is.
But I've been pretty busy. I haven't been watching a lot of new stuff recently. I did start Cobra Kai. I'm one episode into the new episodes that they dropped, so I'm looking forward to watching more of that. We finished our Avatar The Last Airbender rewatch. Again, we're just kind of constantly going through it, finished another one. So we actually, instead of going right into Korra, we took a pivot and we are watching Young Justice. And so I'm really enjoying getting back into that show because that's one of my favorite animated shows of all time. And then for my fantasy football league, where the winner each week assigns a movie for us all to watch, winner was former guest of the pod, Rob Coakley, who is the host of the Hometown Ghost Stories podcast. A bit of a mouthful. He assigned Let the Right One In, a Swedish horror movie, and it was actually really good. So if you're a horror fan, Damon, I know that you are, you don't mind reading subtitles, check out Let the Right One In. It's a very interesting film. And this week I won, and so I assigned Tick Tick Boom because only one of the people on the pod had seen it. So I'm really, really excited to get them to watch that. David, how about you? What have you been watching?
Yeah, I think the main thing, Dune Prophecy, new on HBO. That show's been pretty good so far. I think I watched the first 3 episodes. It's only 6. It's kind of it's going to be kind of a shorter length in terms of series, but the episodes are really long, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, it's definitely like a different take on the universe than I would say the films are in terms of like kind of the action and the epic feel, but I've really enjoyed it for what it is, and the ensemble cast is just it's huge. Like there's so much going on. It reminds me a lot of kind of like Game of Thrones and the political kind of like realm of this Dune universe. So that's been pretty good. I'd recommend watching that show if you haven't seen it already.
Heck yeah, check out Dune Prophecy on Max. Rachel, how about you? What you been watching outside of Gladiator and Wicked?
I've been watching my roommate Leah, who I think was also on here at some point, or you know her. We're watching Fosse Verdon. She has seen it. I have not. So been slowly going through Fosse Verdon because we watched All That Jazz, and I was like, I gotta see the chaos of Bob Fosse some more. And then I've been reading The Running Man to give a nod to Damon's what's he reading, because that movie is coming out next year, and that book is most definitely Stephen King when he was on cocaine. I did the history. I looked it up because some of it is crazy. And yeah, I'm also been watching the Before movies because I've never seen them before. LOL. Like the Richard Linklater trilogy, and so that's what I'm doing.
Heck yeah. The other thing I forgot that I've been not watching every episode. We've seen it before, but my wife is doing a rewatch is Sherlock, which that's such a fun show. That is a good show. There's some really, really high quality acting and writing in that one. But that's all stuff that has released in the past. Well, some of it's the new this year. Some of it fits the criteria that we're going for. We're drafting the best projects released so far in 2024. We will have 5 different categories and 5 different rounds. We can draft these categories in any round that we want. We're going with live action movie, animated movie, live action TV show, animated TV show, and a wild card. Anything we want. It can be animated, it can be live action, it can be a movie, it can be a TV show. We're not going to do a snake because I figured with 5 rounds, that kind of makes it a little bit tougher to make a snake fair because somebody gets screwed on the comeback since it's not an even number. So we're going to do it completely random. We're going to do a draft order generator for every single round. We'll switch it up and keep it fair. I'll screen share it. I'll put it up on the screen right now. Best projects of 2024. If you're watching us live on YouTube, it's not live, but you know what I mean. It's the perfect time to
live adjacent.
Perfect time to smash that like button, subscribe, hit on the notification bell. All
TJ, there you go. I was gonna say you're supposed to go
whatever.
Left,
yeah.
Right. And also make it so the number of teams is 4.
Oh yeah.
Team 7, yeah.
Can't. Well, we can still do it this way, and then
It should be fun.
Oh, we're
more of the teams.
And
We're very prepared.
Well, great.
David is first. David
6.
is second. TJ is third, and Rachel is 4th.
Yeah, it's not fair because
for
Team
round
6 is
1.
technically first.
Well, yeah, but we're not going to worry about Team 6. And so, without further ado, in the official Agents of Fandom 2024 Best Projects Draft, David, you have the first pick.
Damon
has the first pick. David has the second pick. Too many DA names.
Yeah.
We're already trying to screw this over here. Oh, man. Okay. So I have to go with something that I know probably has the highest number one, right? Like it's gonna be everyone's number one. It's not my number one of the year, but it has to be everyone's number one. And this is an animated show, so I gotta pick X-Men '97.
X-Men 97 off the board. Great pick. We won't go too in depth into why we're picking them. We don't have a ton of time, but that one's kind of self-explanatory anyways. It brought back the X-Men and it did a wonderful, wonderful job. David, pick number 2, X-Men 97 off the board. Keep track of our own kind of picks and then we'll go through them at the end.
Totally. And that was a great pick because I really want to draft live action movie here because I'm passionate about so many of these, but I feel like there's so many I could choose, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm convicted this is still the best movie of the year, and that's Dune Part 2. I really, really loved this second part of the story. You know, it feels like it came out a long time ago at this point, but what an experience it was. I got to go see the first Dune like ahead of it in IMAX, and like watching them, it was like a week apart, but kind of back to back was so epic. And I really hope it doesn't get overshadowed heading into award season because just from the music and the editing and the performances, I mean, that final hand-to-hand combat battle is just so amazing. So yeah, going Dune Part 2 here.
Another excellent pick. I'm going to go after two kind of, I think, good high-end choices off the bat. This I do think is a high-end choice and the number one in its category, but I feel like I'm reaching a little bit, but I don't really care because this movie hit some emotional chords for me. Seeing this after being a new dad was just something special. And I think it is by far the best animated film of the year. And so I'm going with The Wild Robot as my first round choice because I absolutely adored that movie when I went to see it in theaters. So The Wild Robot off the board at number 3. Rachel, you are up with pick number 4.
Listen, I'm doing this for me. So my movie pick is gonna be Hitman because that's my shit. So I'm just gonna. My whole thing is I'm just vibing with what movies I enjoyed. I have no rhyme or reason other than if I liked it, it's gonna be on my list. So yeah, my live action movie is Hitman.
I like it.
I love that movie. Movie's so good.
Unfortunately, I'm learning now as I go back, it's making me redo the name.
You gotta be kidding me.
All over again. And so now I will know for the future to do that while you guys are talking in the background.
The content people want, TJ. This is the behind the scenes.
Saying as a nude father, I was like, he's gonna say some shit like challengers.
New father, not a nude father.
No, I know. And I was like, you're gonna be like challenger.
Every time, Rachel. Every time you're on.
Great.
Wow.
Well,
without further ado, you got the first pick. Rachel, TJ, Damon, David for round 2.
Shoot. Okay, so for live action TV, I have 2 I want. So I have to pick between them. And I think, there's Italians in both of them, so I can't even pull an Italian card. I'm gonna go with the more overtly Italian option and pick the Penguin instead of the other show.
Yeah, that's good. That's
a good pick.
Great pick. The Penguin is, I think, my top television show of the year. Great choice. And with that, it is me with the next pick. And I was actually hoping to go with the Penguin in this next one. So that is
as a new father.
Nope.
What's with Rachel? Every time she's on, I just lose my mind.
As a new father, the Penguin.
No, that one doesn't quite hit as well, but I'm going to go with an animated show because X-Men 97 was number 1 on my board. And number 2, I don't know how well it'll do with the votes, but it is an incredible show. I wish more people watched it because it is truly, truly incredible. I'm going My Adventures with Superman for my pick for animated shows.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good show.
Damon?
Yeah, good show. I know you. So I'm once again going animated because I think the animated categories are significantly less to choose from, and there's a big drop off in quality when you start picking them down. So I'm gonna have to go with the animated movie. And to me, this is the best animated movie of the year, without a question. And it's the number one highest grossing animated movie of the year as well. Inside Out 2.
That was my third choice for animated
Wow.
movie. But another, yeah,
It
third.
was my first, so I'm gonna have to do some Googling.
There's one other I Wild Robots and one other that I have above Inside Out 2 this year for top animated movies, but we will get there if hopefully somebody else picks it. If not, maybe I throw it in as a wild card. David, last pick of round 2.
Yeah, I would have loved to take the Penguin, would have loved to take Inside Out 2 here. Those are great options. I'm going to go, was kind of similar to the Penguin in a way, kind of similar to X-Men 97. I'm going with Cape Crusader as my animated TV series. I really, really love that series. And it's kind of similar to what TJ was saying with Adventures of Superman. I feel like not enough people saw it. Like, it's a really, really great kind of like noir Batman story where you're getting some very interesting original takes on the villains. So I recommend everyone go see Cape Crusader. There's a second season coming out. It's a really good show, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more. I think you nailed that one. Let's go back to the draft board. I got the names already typed in behind the scenes. We are learning, baby. We're learning as we go. Generate order round 3. We have David first, TJ second, Rachel third, Damon fourth. David, you are up first.
Man, I'm in a tough spot. Live, I'm going to go live.
Harold and the Purple Crayon. Still.
Oh, there we go.
For animated or live action.
Is that animated?
Yeah. Is both things.
I was going to say, does that count?
It was on the list. It's like,
I don't think I just checked that one out in theaters, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to go live action TV show here. And this might be a bit of a curveball. I loved Presumed Innocent on Apple TV Plus with Jake Gyllenhaal. So I'm taking that. I don't know if anyone else would have taken that one today, but really excellent show on Apple TV Plus. And Jake Gyllenhaal's my guy. He's so good in everything. And he's great in this role too.
Who was 2 on the list? Was it me or was it Rachel?
You, then me, then Damon. I think.
Right. Well, I'm going to go live action TV here and sticking with my heart, something that I really, really loved. And I'm going to take Agatha All Along off the board for a live action television show.
The Sicilians. Oh, it's
Rachel,
my turn, isn't it?
You're up.
Okay, I'm doing animated live action. And I'm stuck between
Animated live action.
Animated live action.
Nope. Animated feature film is what I meant. But I'm stuck between 2 movies, and I'm trying to decide which one I want. I think I'm gonna go with the hottie that's not a robot. Well, he is a robot, but not always a robot. So I think I'm gonna pick Ultraman Rising for my animated film. My other option was gonna be Transformers 1, but I was like, they're not hot in that. They're just robots. There are hotties in Ultraman Rising though.
Transformers 1 was the other one I was referring to. I absolutely love that movie. I did the double feature with Wild Robot. I did Transformers 1, then I did the Wild Robot right after it, just because we had childcare. As a new dad, Rachel, we had childcare.
You said the double feature as if that was a double feature that people were like, you gotta do Transformers.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the one they should have been. Like Transformers 1, Wild Robot. You saw that Transformers 1 person on Twitter just telling everybody to go see it. That's me with the Wild Robot. It's a great double feature that everyone should have been watching. Damon, throwing it to you. What do you got left to draft, and what are you going with this round?
So just so people know, I have my 2 live actions remaining. And I am blown away. Nobody has said this. Maybe it's because people forgot. It came out in February, if everyone remembers. Won a lot of awards because it was ding dang good. And that's Shogun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was torn between Shogun and Agatha All Along for my live action. Shogun, clearly the, I think, objectively better show, but Agatha All Along was the one that I personally enjoyed more. So that's a great choice. We got 2 rounds remaining. Everybody's got 1 category and a wild card to go. Back to the random draft generator. What do we got for round 4? It will be Damon first, David second, TJ third, and Rachel fourth. So Damon, back to you.
I've said numerous times that this was not my favorite movie of the year, but for a lot of people, I know it is. And it's Deadpool 3.
Nice.
That's a good one to take. That one kind of would have fit my squad that I had going, so I was considering it, but I didn't actually want to pick it because I think there was other movies that I liked a little bit better. Great choice, Deadpool and Wolverine. David, you are up.
Man, this is honestly, I mean, I'm looking at this list. I had written down 2 animated movies going into this, and I'm looking at the list being like, did I see any more than that? I'm taking Transformers 1 here. It's still on the board, right? We just talked about it earlier. It's still an option. So yeah, I'm going Transformers 1, filling out that animated movie.
Great choice. Love Transformers 1. Really wonderful movie. I'm going to go with live action movie here, obviously, because that's the last category I have left. But I'm thinking about, if I get the opportunity to, picking the only other double feature I've had this year. And I'm going with The Fall Guy as my first choice here. I'm going The Fall Guy for live action movie.
Can't wait to see what ding dang double feature you're gonna say went with The Fall Guy.
Not everyone who's listening fully has the release calendar of the year locked in.
Did it come out like the same time as Monkey Man, roughly?
I think so.
Yeah,
It
they
was
were
that
kind of
first
back to back.
weekend of May.
Yeah, they were like kind of back to
The
back.
Monkey
But no,
Guy.
I am I'm not worried about the release calendar. I'm more interested in what movies that you have deemed double feature worthy in the year of our Lord 2024.
The ones that I want to see in theater that also line up with me having time to go see them in theaters. Those are the ones that are double feature worthy.
I mean, I did just double feature Wicked and Conclave, so I can't really like judge a human. Anywho's it's what do I got? I got animated show. Okay, I'm going between 2. And so far everything I've picked has a hot dad in it. Yeah, because the Penguin is like a dad to Victor. You got
Is he the hot dad?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. In Hitman, he got a kid he has kids at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Can we
In
go back
Ultraman-
to Oz Cobblepot being attractive?
Bro, I don't know how to explain this to you, but it's just Colin Farrell's eyes.
Did you see the Irish accent video?
Yeah. And then it is the hot guy has the baby kaiju in Ultraman. Ken has the baby and he's hot. And so I think no, hear me out. I think I'm gonna go Bluey because Bandit.
That was my surprise pick.
I think I'm going Bluey for the Bandit.
Oh no, that was my surprise.
It was between that and Terminator Zero, but I think I'm going Bluey.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
Thank you.
Final round. All we have left is our wild card pick. Oh, damn it. I forgot to do it. So we'll keep it off the screens. Let's do a recap of everybody's team so far.
Yeah, sure.
Damon, what is your team that you have drafted so far going into the wild card round?
I got X-Men 97. I got Inside Out 2. I got Shogun, and I got Deadpool 3. That's a quad squad right there.
Good list. Yeah.
It's a really good team. It's going to get a lot of votes. Well done, Damon. David, what do you got for your team?
I got Dune 2, Cape Crusader, Presumed Innocent, and Transformers Uno.
Rachel?
I got Hitman, a banger. With a hot dad. I got the Penguin, a banger, with a hot pseudo dad. I got Bluey with a hot dog dad. And I got Ultraman Rising, a movie with 2 hot dads.
Wow. Incredibly well done. That team has chemistry. The team blends together. That's a team that's going to do well on the field. I got The Wild Robot, My Adventures with Superman, Agatha All Along, and The Fall Guy. I don't feel like my team's going to get a lot of votes, but I do feel like it matches what I enjoyed this year, so I'm happy with it. Let's go to the draft order for the final round. What do we got? Who gets the first choice? TJ. That means I get to complete my double feature officially, followed
Why
by
am I
Damon,
last again? This is
followed by
rigged.
David.
This is
and
rigged.
Rachel is last again.
I've been
With
third
my
or
final
last.
pick, with my wild card, I'm going with my first double feature of the year, The Fall Guy and Challengers. That is my final movie choice, and I'm going with it in wild card.
Okay.
What, Rachel? What?
That's an insane double feature.
They
A lot
came
of
out
action.
at the same time, and so I
No,
went
they
to
did.
both of them.
Challengers was in like March.
I think it was.
They were in theaters at the same time.
Yeah,
I love
think
Challengers though. Great
It
pick.
was okay. Sorry, it was April that Challengers came out. So you just were like, I'm gonna wait until the Fall Guy comes out and then just go see both of these movies at the same time.
Yeah, well, when did The Fall Guy come out in theaters? May
Like May
3rd. It was
3rd.
only probably the second or third week of the Challengers, and so I went to see both. That's reasonable.
So you
I
like
didn't mark
Challengers
as a
you like
new
Challengers
dad.
less.
As a
You
new
like
dad, you're
Fall
gonna
Guy
bring up
more.
challengers.
Dad,
Let me sit
I
down
had
and
a
have you
kid,
explain this one
And
to
then
me.
I had to wait a while, take care of the kid before I could go to the movies. It makes sense. Damon, you got the second pick.
Okay. TJ, we've done plenty of these drafts together. What do I always do whenever I draft?
I don't remember. I'm sure.
I nuke my team in some way, shape, or form.
That's true. That's true.
I always have a very good lineup and then I find a way to nuke it. And I've been planning this one because I know this one will just absolutely destroy it, and I don't care because I
World in the
effing
Purple
love
Crayon.
this
Let's
movie.
go.
No.
Harold.
I gotta
Give me
pick
the accolade.
Terrifier 3, man.
Wow.
I love that franchise. It's hilarious in all the worst ways.
I thought you were throwing an acolyte in there, and I was happy. I was excited.
my
but,
gosh.
didn't quite. Make
No,
it.
I need to nuke it for personal taste preferences, not to rile people up preferences.
David, what do you got with your final pick?
Can I take Gladiator? Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Gladiator it is. That's my wild card. Love that movie.
Gladiator 2 on the board. I'm going to see it tomorrow night, Friday night. I'm really excited. Rachel, what do you got as your final pick?
I'm doing the motion. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing the daddy of the storms himself. And I'm picking Twisters.
The 4DX
Glenn Powell draft.
Masterclass.
If you feel it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Chase it.
Thank you.
All right. I remember you saying at New York Comic Con that you were yelling and getting mad that nobody was doing the second part.
Not a
So I was like,
single
okay, I
person
can't
said
leave
to
you
me-
hanging on that one. I gotta get it. I gotta
took
get
the
that
entire
one.
party though to yell if you feel it, Jason. We were there because I still had the cowboy hat on, drunk at a party.
When we were at New York Comic Con this year and Ava cosplayed as Barbie the one day, I remember saying to her, like, just because I had PTSD from the year before, I was like, hey, if anybody says hey Barbie to you, make sure you say hey Barbie back, because we were hanging out the one day that you dressed out as Barbie and people did not say it back sometimes and you were getting pissed. So I was like, hey,
You have
to avoid confrontation.
And then I
make
wouldn't
sure
say
we-
hi Ken unless they said hi Barbie first. I had like rules.
Let's recap our teams once again. I went with The Wild Robot, My Adventures with Superman, Agatha All Along, The Fall Guy, and Challengers. Damon, what is your squad?
I went with X-Men 97, Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, or Deadpool 3, whatever you want to call it, Shogun, and Terrifier 3.
All right, David, who was your final squad?
Yep, I got Dune 2, Cape Crusader, Presumed Innocent, which is my hot dad pick of the day, Transformers 1, and Gladiator 2 in theaters now.
Rachel?
I'm describing them as dads. I've got Hitman Dad. I've got Bluey Dog Dad. I've got Hot Gotham Dad. The Penguin, and what else do I have? What am I missing? No.
Twisters.
What am I missing? No, that was only 3. Was that 4? Oh,
Ultraman Rising?
Kaiju Dad in Ultraman Rising, and Hot Storm Daddy in Twisters.
David Corn Sweat. Yep.
As my honorary hot dad pick, I'm gonna say the adopted father of Jean-Claude, and it's Ryan Gosling as my hot dog dad in The Fall Guy. Rachel, can I say anything right? Can I just like one time get a sentence through without you giving me the look like I'm the biggest idiot on the planet?
It was the Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude, attack! Attaquez! Jean-Claude. Taught French for 5 years. Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell because we have fun. You don't want to miss out on all the fun that we're going to be having. We got shows coming up, breakdowns. Some of them are going to be live for The Skeleton Crew, Creature Commandos, What If Season 3, and that's just coming up in 2024. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming in the new year. Right at the start of January with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and it won't be long before it's time for Daredevil Born Again, which should be an absolute blast. Rachel, I'm going to go to David first because Rachel's been so mean to me. David, where can the people find you on socials? What's going on at the Direct podcast? What do you got coming?
Yeah, socials at David Thompson with 2 A's in the David. That's Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. And then on the Direct podcast, coming out Thursday, November 21st, today, as of filming or recording this, at least, we're doing a big scores themes draft. We're getting 4 people coming on, so kind of a similar draft, similar style with like the fantasy stuff, but we're doing all scores where it's going to be this huge draft. It can go, Star Wars, Jaws, Jurassic World, whatever you want, Superman, all that good stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Heck yeah. And Rachel, you got Twisters on your team. You got Hitman on your team. It's almost as if you have a certain reason for picking those teams and maybe even a podcast about it.
Yeah, maybe. You can find me at the Glenn Powell podcast, also known as Powell Pod. Also Padro Pascal, where we will eventually talk about Gladiator 2. You can also listen to Cinema Sibs when my brother and I have time, which is on the Agents of Fandom network. When we talk about movies, you can read my work at the Mary Sue. Go watch my Daniel Craig interview that I did with him and Drew Starkey for Queer. And you can follow me on Twitter at Rachel Leishman and then Rachel_Leishman anywhere else you want to find me.
Another social we got to add up here on the StreamYard thing is Blue Sky, but you can find the Agents of Fandom on Blue Sky. I believe the tag is actually agentsofandom.com over there, so make sure you follow us there. It's got one of the very best feeds around to get news as it happens for movies, for TVs. Ryan is the best in the game on socials, and Sydney's been doing a great job over there on Blue Sky, making sure that we get the posts up there as well. Damon, what's coming up on the Comic Corner?
Oh, man, we had a ton of interviews that just dropped over the last 2 weeks. We had Phil Kenny Johnson, who most recently wrote the great run from Action Comics. That was the War World Saga, and it is a legendary run at this point, which is kind of crazy because it's fairly new, but it's very, very good. So we talked with him, and also the Mark Waid. That interview is up now, so go check that out. We chatted all things Superman, a little bit about the Superman movie coming out, and some of his new books coming out, like Justice League Unlimited, his weekly run of Action Comics. And for you Daredevil fans, if you know that one panel of Matt Murdock in a Christmas sweater, and the sweater says, "I'm not Daredevil," yeah, he wrote that. So we chatted a little bit about his run there and how fun that was.
AKA me and Damon.
Awesome.
We both dressed as that comic panel.
Make sure you check out the Comic Corner if you're a fan of comic books, because they have some of the best guests, biggest comic book artists and writers in the game. So make sure you check that out. And follow the Agents of Fandom podcast because we have lots of great stuff coming. We have really fun guests planned. We got some interviews, and we will be doing live shows for all of the great TV shows coming out over the next couple months. I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone, this week. On behalf of myself, Damon, David, Rachel, all the Agents of Fandom, we will see you again next week for another show. Peace.